Hey guys, what's up? Schway aka JR here, back with another video. So guys, if you've been keeping track of the channel, we did a whole case review of AEW Metal. I opened a hobby box of AEW Metal, all for your entertainment. Not for me, it's all for you guys, it's not for me at all. Anyways, we're back with another one, guys. This time though, I am going to be ripping a box of 2025 Metal and a box of 2022 Metal. It's weird to think there was a 2 or 3 year hiatus. I say 2 or 3 because, you know, AEW and Upper Deck in particular drop stuff at weird times. So we're gonna rip a box of each, see which one's better. Personally, my money's on the new one. Having said that, there's some really cool stuff in the old Metal. I felt like it was a very slept on product. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know about AEW Metal, what you guys are thinking so far in the comments. Personally, I think it's a super slept on set. Anyways, let's get into it, guys. Let's go. Alright guys, so we are back. I hope you checked out our original video again. Check in the archives. I had a video of me opening this. We dropped a day or two ago of Metal 2025 Hobby. And then we also had a full case breakdown that I did a little bit before that, so check the archives. And today we are going to be going pack for pack, Metal Universe 22 versus 25. And we're gonna see which one's better. I think we already know the answer, but you never know which box will be better, guys. So there's a lot of stuff I like in both. So we're gonna open these, and again, I'm gonna go pack for pack so we can, you know, do a little side-by-side comparisons, talk about the differences, all that jazz. If you can, guys, go in the comments, tell me what you like about Metal so far, or what you don't like. Any hot takes on either, we will take. All right, got a little 22, little 25. Talk about the noticeable differences. I will say 25 does a good job of making you feel like you get more value, but feeling and actually getting more value are two vastly different things. So again, guys, like I said in the previous video, the goal is we're looking for precious metal gems, also known as PMGs, which are probably the most valuable numbered cards in the hobby in general. They sell for more. Like if you had an out of 99 card in pretty much any other set, it's not going to sell as much as a PMG to 100. Why? It holds more hobby significance. Why specifically it does, I couldn't tell you, besides the fact that they've been around since the 90s, so it probably just has a place in people's hearts. So we're going to start with the OG Metal, and we'll go through and see what's up. So Jungle Boy, Pac, Trent, Ethan Page now in WWE, Dax Harwood, and then on the inserts, we have Dax Harwood on the Technician and a blue of MJF. So Technicians and blues are both non-2025. The blues were replaced by the copper. So I put the blue to the side, and once we already got a copper, I'll put them side by side so you can compare. On the base, Samoa Joe, James Drake, Powerhouse, Billy Gunn, I almost said Will Hobbs, Chopped of Timeless Tony Storm, and a copper of Truth Magnum. So the blue kind of replaced the copper kind of replaced the blue. The coppers maybe look a little bit better. To me, it's kind of a wash, you know, either way, not too much. And then a little base to base comparison, you know. I guess I kind of like this year's a little bit better, you know. Nothing too crazy. I don't think, you know, I say this and then my customers prove me wrong, but not everyone's super looking for base, but there are people who are super into base. I am not one of them. I actively give pretty much all my base to my customers, so yeah, there's that. Anyways, we have Emi Sakura, Anthony Bowens of the acclaimed Danhausen, who I don't know why Tony Khan doesn't want to use the guy, but there's Danhausen. Probably going to be in NXT at some point, my guess. Jake Hager, who's retired from wrestling apparently. Dustin Rhodes. Stokely Long Hathaway. So if you guys don't remember, there was a typo where a lot of the names on the Skybox Limited had the name Long in between. I don't get it. I don't know. Upper Deck. And we have blue on the Hangman. back to 2025. I will say the inserts in 25 are a bit more colorful. All right, looks like we might have a Century EX, guys. We have Nyla Rose, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, a trios of Willow, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly, and Rick Knox. Well, that's one thing that's not going to change from AEW and Upper Deck. The unnecessary need to put a lot of refs in every product. I will never understand it. Oh, wow, look at that. I didn't even see that. You see that on the bottom? Woof. Oh, no. No one's going to want to buy this ref card now because it's messed up. Not because it's a ref, just because it's messed up. Oh, man. Anyways, sorry, I probably was the only one who laughed at that. Not my ref card. Absurd. Anyways, we got Keith Lee. Where is Keith Lee? Why don't they use Keith Lee? I don't understand. Anyways, there's Keith Lee. Wheeler Yuta, Powerhouse, Andrade now back in WWE, Hikaru Shida. We have a hardware of Britt Baker. Where's Britt and Penelope on the blue? Where the hell is Britt and why won't they use her? I don't understand. You build her up all these years, make her the quote-unquote face of the women's division, book her strong. She does a lot of good stuff for the company, and then they just don't utilize her. I don't get the logic, you know? I do not get the logic. All right. We got Matt Taven, Big Bill. We got Mark Briscoe, ring hero of Chris Jericho, and Dutch on the Century EX. I'm not going to lie, I was hoping to possibly hit an Angelico for my guy Winna, because I'm not huge on the Century EXs. They look okay. Not my favorite, though, and at least I could hit one for him since I know he's searching for it. And I'm not super big on the Century EXs, especially when you get a ref and then Dutch, who's no longer even in AEW, so not the best. On the base, we have Lee Moriarty, Aubrey Edwards, Max Caster, Matt Sydal, Evil Uno, Bonzo Gonzo. If you've ever been in my streams, you know I am not a fan of these Bonzo Gonzos. I think they're really dumb. But we have Jade Cargill on the Bonzo Gonzo, obviously now in WWE, and Cash Wheeler. So, as people know, I'm a big Jade fan. I feel like WWE kind of figured out what AEW knew a while ago, which is in order to utilize Jade, you kind of have to protect her more. And they've been having her in shorter matches. I don't know. She seems kind of just like WWE doesn't, I don't know. They give her opportunities, but they also kind of pushed her up too quickly. I think they could have utilized her better. It is what it is. We have Camille, Claudio, Wardlow, Trent. Oh, I said Trent. Tony Nese. Definitely not Trent. Energizer, Chris Outlander. Shout out my guy Benny. And to 333, a trios card of Claudio, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta. I'm not a big fan of cards numbered to 333. You know, to me, what's the point of even numbering stuff after 100? That's just my opinion. I don't know. Let me know if I'm weird. At a certain point, it's like, you know, I remember these old WWE cards that were numbered to like over 2,000. At a certain point, it's like, what's even the point of numbering them if there's that many guys? That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm weird. Let me know what you think. We got William Regal, Roosh, Hangman, Stokely Hathaway, Daniel Garcia, Cash Wheeler, and Keith Lee on the blue. So I do miss these limited, the Skybox Limited. I thought these were pretty cool. They could be numbered as well. Again, where is Keith Lee? Why did they, like, I don't understand why he signs people and don't use them. It's very strange. I don't get it. But, you know, that's why I'm not getting paid the big bucks. Looks like we might have a numbered Century EX. We got Zach Gibson, Nick Wayne, Swerve, trio of Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Kyle O'Reilly, and fuck my life, Dante Martin. Number, dude, I just do not have good luck on these personal rips, man. It's crazy. Numbered to 30. Well, it's numbered lower, so there's that at least. But man, my luck on these numbered, on the hits in these is just not good. I thought I grabbed a 55 for this. I did not. Man, I feel like Gordon Ramsay. Fuck me. All right, let's go. We got Jamie, Ortiz, Sean Spears now back in WWE, Sammy Guevara, Julia Hart, We have a retro red velvet. I do enjoy these retro designs in last year's and this year's. I like both of them for different reasons. And Brit on the blue. So we already got 2 numbered cards out of my 2025 box. So getting anything of value in there still seems like it's going to be a hard sell. We'll see. John Silver, Max Caster, Willow, Brit, Ring Heroes of Brit, and we have Commander on the prospects. Hopefully we can pull a PMG out of this old set. I still haven't seen the Jade 101 hit. I'm wondering if it was hit or if it's just never going to be hit. I don't know. There's a lot of boxes. Brody, Pepsi Phil, now in WWE, Paul Turner, Hook, Preston Vance, Technician of Stang, and a blue Scorpio Sky who recently returned. Man. We have Mark Quinn, Tony Storm, Buddy Matthews, Wheeler Yuta, Energize of Orange Cassidy, and Matt Menard on the Blast Furnace. Not too big on either of those inserts personally. I will say Orange Cassidy gives me Cyclops vibes with the sunglasses. You know, he looks like Scott Summers. Cyclops, get down. Which, if you haven't yet, I know it's not wrestling related, but X-Men 97 was a great show if you get a chance to watch it. We got Wheeler, Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Excalibur, Ruby Soho, Swerve, The Blade on the Skybox, and Claudio on the blue. So I think we're at the halfway point, guys. This is metal's always an intense rip because it's a lot of packs, so it's always a intense rip. We got Konosuke, Chris Jericho, Okada, Cash Wheeler, trios of Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam, and Brian Keith on the prospect. I guess you can put him as a prospect. He's kind of old, but remotely newer to the company and not as popular yet, so not as mad about that prospect. But we'll see. Ooh, there you go. We got Nick Jackson, Miro, Jim Ross, Chris Statlander, Chris Jericho, the retro of Jungle Boy. I do like these retros. And Bryan Danielson on the blue. All right, we got Colton Gunn, Brody King, Kenny Omega, Darby Allin. We have Ring Hero of MJF and a Smooth of John Moxley. I am a fan of the Smooth cards. They look pretty cool. Again, nothing out of the old... Oh my god, did I hit a purple? Purple. If you see a purple, that means your box pretty much is done. Out of the old one, if you hit a purple, that's probably your only hit to 199. Wolf. Kenny Omega, Scorpio Sky, Matt Menard, Adam Cole, Bonzo Gonzo, Jungle Boy, purple of Matt Jackson to 199. Wow, Nick Jackson, excuse me, and Dax Harwood on the blue. Nick Jackson, one purple, man. I picked the worst boxes for myself, guys. This is nuts. All 3 of the metal boxes I ripped for content today look like they're going to be terrible. Because, yeah, no PMG for the Schwayster. Hate to see it, chat. All right, we got Austin Gunn. We got Trent, Lee Moriarty, Jamie Hayter, Energize of Nyla Rose, and a copper of Mansoor. So, normally if I was ripping this off camera at this point, I probably would stop ripping these packs and just give them away, you know, for giveaways or other purposes, just because 9 times out of 10 there's going to be really nothing in here after this point, in my opinion, you know, from what I've seen. The Butcher, Billy Gunn, Serena Deeb, Tony Nese, The Blade. We have Matt Jackson, which is actually Nick Jackson, fun little typo on these Palladium cards, and Adam Cole on the blue. They seem to have gotten rid of the hardware Palladium type cards this year. I kind of like them, but, you know, not devastated they're gone. Not devastated they're gone. All right. Oh, well, I fucked that up. I thought it was base. Sorry, guys. We have Nick Jackson, Bryan Danielson, Sheeta, Satnam, trio of Matt Menard, Nigel, and Tony, and the auto you already saw of Roosh. Well, at least we got an auto. So I would have given away an auto, guys. Just, I was just, if I had taken my advice, I would have given away an auto. So I like Roosh, not the most valuable, sadly, but I do like Roosh. I feel like another guy who, I don't know, I just enjoy his work. So we'll see. Athena, Buddy Matthews. We got the Bunny. We got Matt Jackson, QT Marshall. The merch of the Butcher, they definitely got rid of the merch, and a blue Chris Jericho. I'm not mad at the merch going just because they were super hard to penny sleeve and top load. It was kind of annoying. And some of those inserts last year could only be numbered to 25, which, not very interesting. We got Harley, Sammy Guevara, Mason Madden. We have a little Eddie Kingston, ring hero of Claudio, and a prospect of Mansoor. We got Penelope, Cash Wheeler, Tony Schiavone, Ricky Starks, John Moxley. We got Alex Abrahantes, Wolf, and Ruby Soho on the blue. All right, guys. Again, I know it's a long shot, but I'm still hoping we can pull out a last-minute PMG. Jack Perry, Jeff Jarrett, Matthew Jackson, Jay Lethal, Energize of Swerve, and Juice Robinson on the Blast Furnace. But it is nice how we pulled 2 numbered cards in an auto from the new metal. So, like I said, they'll definitely make you feel like you're getting more value versus the first year. Malachi, Colton, Chuck Taylor, Stang, Jade Cargill, Technician of Evil Uno, and a blue Pac. All right, guys, coming down to our last packs. We got Pac, we got Turbo Floyd, we got Queen Aminata, Commander, Trios of the Hurt Business, and Hologram on the prospect. That makes sense as a prospect, guys. He's actually a prospect. Crazy. Okay, our last 2 packs. We got MJF, Anthony Ogogo, Isaiah Cassie, Alex Reynolds, Brian Danielson, Nick Jackson, which they actually got right on the Skybox Limited, and Sammy Guevara on the blue. Our last pack from this year's. Based off what I'm seeing, probably not getting anything too crazy, but that's why you rip them. You never know. You never know. Mansoor, Truth Magnum, Anthony Wake Me Up Before You A Go-Go, Penelope Ford, Chopped of Jamie Hayter, and a Smooth of Shibata. I do like the smooth cards. So overall, guys, 2025 I think is easily better because, we got 2 numbered cards, a bunch of inserts, and an auto versus 2022. You'd pretty much be lucky to get 1 numbered card, and that's it. I had boxes that had no hit in the sense of no numbered card, no auto, no PMG, no jambalaya, no any of that. So again, the streak of having bad boxes on my channel continues. I'll do a quick recap of the notable hits, and then we'll bid adieu. So we got the Palladium of Nick Jackson, as a typo it says Matt. Hardware of Britt Baker. Trios of Pac, Claudia, and Wheeler to 333. Nick Jackson to 199 on the purple. Dante Martin to 30 on the EX, Century EX. And Roosh on the auto. So at least we got an auto. But overall, like I said, 25 seems way better. I liked what they did this year, where it's like you get a good amount of the inserts. The inserts seem to pop a little bit more, and you get more numbered cards. So it just feels like you get a lot more value comparatively to last time. But still, it says 4 autos per average on case. From what I've seen, it seems more like 6. So still not a guaranteed auto, which I know will, be a detractor for a lot of people. Just ask some of your friends about the Cactus Jack release coming out. When they said there's 4 auto for case, people acted like the sky was falling. So again, that's a random thing. I enjoy AEW Metal. I think it's slept on set. Yes, it can be brutal, but if you do get those big hits, you can make some good money off of it compared to other products. And I do really enjoy a good PMG. Shout out my guy Senju. So again, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Help our channel grow. We're getting close to 700. Hopefully by the time this drops, we're already at 700. Who knows? We've been making some good progress since I went to SummerSlam. Appreciate all the support, guys. Means the world to me. And until next time, enjoy the hobby. I still need to think of a catchphrase. Good night, everyone. Peace.